Letter U, let's calculate elasticity of demand from a table. I'm going to use Google Sheets, but you could also use Excel, whichever works better for you. But all spreadsheets are pretty much the same these days. So I've copied the table that I have here, and I'm just going to plug in the numbers 30, 20, 200, 25, and then 220. 30, 100, 80, 100, 100, 35, 30, and 20, 50, 64, 40. And the good thing about doing it in Excel, or in Sheets in this case, is that I don't have to calculate it again. Once I calculate the percent change in quantity and the percent change in price, then I can have this. I just have to do it once. Okay, so we're going to write a formula. I recommend using the parentheses because that way we're telling it what's new and what's old. So percent change in quantity is new minus old or initial divided by initial. Okay, and then all of this needs to turn into a percent. So let's see what, so I got negative 80%. Right, let's see if I hit the percent key, what happens. Oh, that's pretty nice. So it turned it into a percent. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing with price. So new minus old. I forgot to say I hit equal sign before you write your formulas there. And then divided by initial. And that gives us a number. And that's positive, and we're going to turn that into a percent. Oh, how nice. And then finally equals the percent. Elasticity of demand formula is the percent change in quantity over the percent change in price. And that should not be a percent. So, because that's a ratio. So now I need to figure out how to not d%. And Excel calls this format. No, I just want this to be a regular number. Will that change it? Number. Ah, there we go. So it's negative 4.8, and often with elasticities, we'll turn that into an absolute number or absolute calculation, absolute value, in which case we would say that's 4, and we would say that that is elastic. So the first one is elastic. Okay. Then all you have to do is just copy that formula down. I grabbed that little circle thing and dragged it down, and then do the same thing here, and then do the same thing here. And now I've got all my calculations. Next, so none of these are inelastic. That's kind of weird. This one is unit elastic because that's exactly negative 1. This one is elastic. And this one is also elastic. Okay. Now you might. So now we're done. You might be considering using something called the midpoint method because it matters whether I'm going up or down on the demand curve. So let's copy this whole thing and redo it with the midpoint. And I'm gonna delete all of this. And we can leave that there. It's really just this calculation. So instead of dividing by the initial amount, we're going to divide by the midpoint between those two. And I'm going to have Excel do it, even though I know what the answer is because I can see it. Answer 60, but halfway between those two numbers. So we'll just add them both, this plus this. And then you want to close your parentheses there. And we want to divide by 2. So we gotta notice what I'm doing. I'm putting all these parentheses things around it. I have to close the parentheses, make sure it doesn't mess anything up, because you want to tell it to do this first. So what you have here in this formula is new minus old, or new minus initial, divided by both of them plus together, and then divided by 2. So they averaged both of them. Okay. We're going to do the same thing here. So open up double parentheses here. It'll be this plus this. Doesn't matter what order you do. And then divided by 2. And then close your parentheses, and I got 15.8. So I end up getting something that's even more elastic. That's interesting. So now I've got it. I can just calculate all the way down like that. And did it actually change anything? It did change here. So it's still elastic. And now it is elastic, still elastic, and still elastic. But that's how to set up a little spreadsheet and calculate your elasticities for you.